Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine being like a Neanderthal, like back when like...
Neanderthal.
No, I didn't say that wrong. Neanderthal.
Neanderthal.
Thaw? You saying with a
It's
there a
not
W?
Neanderthal.
Pam?
L. There's an
Pam?
L.
Yeah.
Neanderthal.
Thal.
Or Neanderthal.
Oh, so it's not Neanderthal.
No, they're not an ice.
Okay, fuck you both.
It's time for the Garage Boozing Podcast. Available to you at
What's up, nerds? And welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. I'm your host, the man with
Don't forget
absolutely
to follow
no
on all
plan.
your favorite
The Chase
social media
with the
accounts
face
as
for
well
radio,
as YouTube
Chase
at
Sherka.
Garage Boozing.
And
of
wow,
course,
let me just
don't
tell you,
forget
this
to
episode
like,
I have
follow,
coming for
and
you here.
subscribe, whatever the button
Well, you know,
may
sometimes
be,
when you
to the
booze,
Garage
and you just
Boozing
start talking,
Podcast on
and
your
then you don't
favorite
stop
podcast
talking.
platforms,
Well, that's
so you can
exactly
be
what happened with
notified
my
as soon
two
as a
guests
new
today.
episode is
We have the
released.
return of Mike Weeden and the return of Steve Brodt. And yeah, I mean, the three of us have been very good friends for a very long time, so this conversation literally went all over the place. I had to break it up into two parts, of course. That happens every so often when we have a very long conversation. But I promise you, this is very, very entertaining. And boy, I'm so happy to have an episode with Mike and Steve together. And I know you guys are going to love it. So without further ado, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, crack open a cold one. And if you're really feeling fruity, take a shot. Why not? Because this week's episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast starts now.
Oh yeah, in support for the Garage Boozing Podcast, it is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped will help you trim up the family jewels to make everything nice and right for the ladies. Make sure that you're using promo code TGBP20 for 20% off your Manscaped products. Oh yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Season 2 of the Garage Boozing Podcast. Today I am joined by two very special guests. To my left, your right if you're watching on YouTube, we have the most recurring guest on the Garage Boozing Podcast, Mike W. If my dad was here, he would say that. And to my right, we have the return of Steve Brodt. Your left if you're watching on YouTube. Steve was here 2 episodes ago, but I took a Jesus Christ. I took a 2-month hiatus, took a little time off, and I was like, you know what? Mike, you guys all know Mike, but what you guys don't know, I don't think we've talked about this before, me, Mike, and Steve actually all used to work together, which is how we met. So when Mike agreed to be on the podcast, I texted Steve, and I was like, yo, dude, can you be on the podcast tomorrow? And he said, hold on, my wife is sleeping. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but as soon as she wakes up, I'll let you know, because she manages my time. So anyway, eventually he texted me back, and he's like, yeah, I think I can do it. So here we are, back in the garage. But I haven't had them both here in the garage, so I'm very excited for this. So, guys, welcome back to the show, both of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy to be here.
I do want to point out, though, we were all employed at the same building. I don't know if we all worked.
No.
Oh my god! So this is starting. You're coming at
Well,
me already.
you slept in the watermelon bin for 2
You did.
hours. You took a shit.
For the first hour and a half.
I
I have photo proof of that.
I wish I didn't bring this up. Okay, so no, I never slept in a watermelon bin. I got choke slammed by our assistant
You
manager.
hid in the watermelon bin for like 2 hours.
Because I was trying to scare Dave. I wasn't sleeping.
You can't scare me. He doesn't come in for 2 hours. You're sleeping.
Mike, listen, I know you were... So I won't tell you guys exactly where we worked for confidentiality purposes.
Pretty sure you told them in the first time we were together.
I edited it out.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It was a local grocery store chain, and we worked in the produce department. And Mike was the produce manager. And then he hired Steve. Wait, he hired you? Oh, no, you worked
Steve
there
was
before.
already
I worked
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was already there when you came in. And then me and Steve were friends because we went to the casino together, and he got me the job there. But the one thing I didn't know is that I was going to have these shifts at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. So listen, like, I'm not a morning person as it is, but like, even though I lived half a mile away from this grocery store, being on time to work at 4 a.m. is physically impossible. I don't know how you did it, Steve. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But there were times where, like, Steve literally had to clock me in.
Yeah, I would punch you in, and you would then. I mean, and I don't even think he scheduled you for that many times because he knew you weren't going to make it.
It was
You had a
probably
lot
like,
of-
I'm exaggerating.
six.
It was
You had a lot like 5 or 6.
6.
still early.
And you'd roll in at 6:15, 6:20 on a good day, and you would beeline it, thinking I didn't see you. I'd be doing work, and you would walk in straight to the bathroom. Like, you wouldn't even go to the department. You would go right past it into the bathroom. I'd watch you, and then I wouldn't see you for half the shift, hour and a half or so, And then one day in particular, I snuck in and I got some photo proof of
Yep.
Chase playing games.
He violated me.
I did.
I was playing Angry Birds on the toilet.
He was.
Trying to make time go by because I was there at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. 5:15, if you will. But I was like, you know what? If Mike wants to schedule me this early.
You sound really upset about that.
Yeah, I was pissed. You hear me? I growled.
I did hear
That sucks. You try work. Yeah,
It's
you
the
never.
same-
Hold on.
never
hold
had to
on.
work that
Hold
early.
on,
Say you
hold on.
try working.
You tell me to try working that early? I get up at
Every
2
day.
o'clock in the morning every
Every
day.
day.
Oh, now you do. Yeah, welcome to fucking
I
our
did
lives.
before, too. Before I was the produce manager, I was the produce grunt just like you.
Yeah, he worked his way up.
I was
Yeah.
not a grunt.
By being on time.
No, you weren't a grunt. You were a terrible employee. But I kept you around because I liked you.
I had to
You were
apologize to Mike. Fruit Ninja was mostly what you did. And
Hold on.
made the
Did-
fruit cups.
I did that one time, and
it took you 6 times as long as it normally takes.
No,
me.
the other manager walked in one time because I was having fun with a watermelon at 6:15 because it was just
Everything about that sounded weird.
Yes. Having fun with a watermelon? Was there a special hole?
I was sitting on the watermelon, and it went all the way in.
Oh, there was a special divot?
Okay, anyway, before fucking Beard Man interrupted me, one morning I was just having fun, and like, okay, we used to like eat a few grapes when we were back there, sample some food. We all did that. That was a thing. So I said, listen, if we can eat a few grapes, why not smash a watermelon, right? So I picked this thing up out of the watermelon bin, and I literally grabbed it just to see it explode. Because as we talked about in the last episode, I love to smash things, and I wasn't even drunk. So I fucking take this thing and I throw it up in the air. I shit you not, the second it leaves my hands, the fucking meat manager walks back to ask like a question and like looks me right in the face, and I'm looking at him as this watermelon's going. And I forget what his response was to that, but I don't think he said anything.
He was trying to walk out.
I'm pretty sure he looked at me and he was like, okay. And turns back around and leaves. And I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, he's going to tell Mike. Oh, Mike's going to be
He was
so
probably the
pissed.
best manager that could have walked in.
But yeah, at the location that we worked at.
That's how we became friends. Well, me and Steve became friends. We've talked about this before because was it you that tweeted who wants to go to the casino? And I was like, yeah, I'll go to the casino.
I did not know how to change up my differentiality between professional and personal life.
That's not true. We hung out back then.
I thought you were such
I shouldn't have.
We went to like
Why?
baseball games and stuff.
I also have my wife because of that.
That's true. That job.
That's true. But wait, so what do you mean you didn't differentiate your personal and...
I didn't know how to...
You mean with us as employees?
He couldn't be a boss. He didn't want to be mean to us.
Yeah, I didn't want...
That's
Right,
true.
exactly.
You
I
were-
kept you around as the class clown.
Yeah.
But it was
Not
good.
because you were a good employee.
So I had people like Nico who were and
Yeah.
Steve who were like fantastic workers and
And then Chasey was a good friend.
and then assistant manager of mine would go over to the bulk bins and
Yeah.
hang out for 6 hours.
do MPP.
And do MPP for 6 hours. 12-hour shift. He'd do nothing.
Listen, the best thing you ever
You
did...
did more than him.
The best thing you did in that department for me was make me the fruit cup guy. Because when I did the fruit cups, I was focused.
He
That
did do
shit was
some
fun.
fruit cups.
I did a lot of fruit cups. When he's like, you're the fruit cup guy, or whatever the fuck it was called. That was
He's
fun.
a fruit.
Oh yeah, we know that. But I would make all these parfaits and stuff, and like, I mean, from scratch. I don't know how to make it. I just read the directions, said do this, do this, do this. But it kept me occupied.
And
you know?
then the assistant manager took a piping bag of the Cool Whip filling and squirted it in his mouth that day.
He did do that.
Yep. That was a good day.
You got creamed.
by the assistant
I got
manager.
cream pied. Anyway, so yeah, we all used to work in the produce department together, and Mike is totally right. He took it easy on. Well, I'll say mostly me because I was a shitty. I was fresh in college, like I was.
You're
I have
like
no excuse here.
You're like a year, not even a year younger than me.
Yeah, but you're more mature than I am.
You're both babies.
You like how I said mature because it's another way to say mature.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the very
Less
liberal
mature
way of
way to
doing
say
it.
it. This is less
I'm
mature
very
way.
mature.
It's the proper way to say it.
Right, I'm not from
Mature.
Right, but
I just remember every day Mike walking in at 8 or whenever your shift started, double monsters
Yep.
in his hands. Every
Dude,
day.
I remember you first started. Oh, actually, no, I started after him, but I remember like he was still very new. I started very soon after you started.
Yeah.
And you would walk in with your 2 monsters
Yep.
at like 6 in the morning, and I was like, dude, this guy's definitely a pothead. Like he's absolutely.
He'd be,
we
fully,
thought we
he'd
totally
be
thought-
fully suited up.
Yeah.
I just remember our first ever interaction, mine and Mike's. I was stocking the salad wall. I'm putting the bags there, and our old manager, he came by and he came up and said, "This is Mike. He's going to be the new manager here. He's replacing me." I said, "Okay." And I said, "Hello." Mike goes, "Gonna have a good time." I said, "Okay." He goes, "All right," and then he walked away.
Yep.
That was
So I
it.
wasn't wrong.
That was the introduction.
Big question here: was he wearing shorts?
No.
No.
What?
He was in a professional
No,
setting.
I had to wear pants.
He was wearing like suit.
Did you wear pants when we worked there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to wear like a suit.
Yeah.
Man had like a jacket on and everything.
Well, only if I was running the store. If I didn't run the store,
That's true.
I do the shirt
Yeah,
and tie.
yeah.
Yeah. But you know what you could do? You could wear a shirt with a pocket,
Yep.
and that's considered professional too. That's what a deli manager used to do.
A polo shirt?
Not even a polo shirt, just like a
t-shirt.
t-shirt with a pocket.
As long as you got a pocket, you're good.
As long as you have the pocket, you're
Pocket
right.
equals
We
professional.
would go into our manager's meeting, and I'd walk in with a shirt and tie, and be like, "Oh, all right, let's go." And this particular individual will walk in with a shirt with a pocket, and if it's got a pocket, it's professional.
That's it.
All right, so since we're talking about how shitty of an employee I was, I'm just going to even throw it out there. You know when you had to do the morning cull?
He didn't do it.
For those of you that don't know what the morning cull is,
didn't do it.
Do they call that everywhere in produce departments, or is that just like?
Yeah, you're calling the bad stuff.
So basically, like, you had to go to the tomatoes, and you had to put the fresh tomatoes upside down, like on the bottom, and take the bad tomatoes out.
That's called rotation. The,
Yeah.
the call is
Pulling
the
out the
morning.
rotten.
Okay, yeah, and then pull out the bad ones. Whatever. It's been a while.
Bad
since
dates, all that stuff.
Yeah. So
Obviously, you weren't good at it.
at 5 a.m, do I want to sit there and pull out the bad tomatoes? No. So I would just put the fresh ones on top. All right.
The best way to do it was to take your time with the call. You could take half a shift doing that if you did it right.
I remember we had to cut the salad wall too. Oh my god, that job was rigorous.
Oh yeah, all the
People are
fresh
like,
stuff.
"Oh, it's so easy."
No, it's
You
not
couldn't
easy.
even do that.
I know, I couldn't even do it.
No.
I didn't even get hired at McDonald's.
Listen,
I interviewed when I was
heard that,
15.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
hired
thought
him.
the produce job was relatively easy.
It's super.
It was
easy.
pretty-
One of the easiest jobs
was
I've ever
pretty-
had.
How did you not wake up at 5 a.m. and then come to work and see a big pallet of fucking produce that we just had to break down and put away before the store opened? That sucked.
Dude, I would get there at 4 and have like 8 pallets. What do you
Yeah.
One?
He would drive from Western New York.
Yeah,
just to get back in.
I would
to
come
do
from
it.
Rolling Hills at an event or an investigation, and I would go to work.
Yeah, and you were like, "I got to sleep for 12 hours. I got to get up and go back to work and sleep."
Yep. I'd go in, and there was days where I'd go in early, like super early.
Yeah. I just like my sleep, dude. Like,
It's
So
all
do
right.
I.
Yeah,
Sleep when
you
you're
know,
dead.
sleep is overrated. Yeah,
It is.
yeah,
Sleep when you're dead.
you'll sleep when you're dead.
well, yeah,
Sleep
I say I like my sleep, but like then again, I don't go to bed till like 2, 3 in the morning, and then I wake up at like 7.
I'm
or 8.
waking up then.
So,
Sorry,
like-
the wife is texting me.
That's okay. Tell her you're busy.
Hold on, let me find out.
My wife's sleeping. Back
She
up
put a
everything.
nightlight downstairs for the chinchillas.
That's nice enough.
Yeah.
How are those guys doing?
One of them is dying.
So not
Thanks,
well.
Dick.
But no. Tomorrow I have a
Like old age? Or?
no. They're
Stop
supposed to
looking at the
live. So chinchillas are supposed to live for up to 30 years, and they're like 8 right now, and they're brothers. One of them, so their names are Foley and Helmsley.
Love that.
Yep. So Foley
Wrestling names.
actually has an ear that's like deformed, which is why we call him Foley. So
Because those of you that aren't wrestling fans, Mick Foley has
Foley.
one ear.
yes, he lost it when he went over the top rope, got his head stuck between the 2 ropes
And I
between
ripped
him
him
and
off, right?
Vader, and when he came out, the ropes ripped up his ear and tore his ear off.
Wrestling's not fake. You wouldn't know the movie, but we
I
do.
concur.
It's not.
That's right,
fake.
Jimmy King.
There's a difference between fake and scripted.
Well, yeah, if you watch a movie or a TV show, I can tell you that every single thing that's on TV, doesn't matter if it's The Bachelor or
Scripted. Yeah, 100%.
There's a script. But the thing is, when you watch when you watch a movie and a TV show, how many takes do you think they get?
Oh yeah. Well, no.
Yeah,
Listen. I like.
exactly.
There's nothing wrong
Right.
with it.
Oh, I'm
It's
glad we brought
scripted.
this up.
Yeah. There's
So-
nothing wrong with it.
Right. With wrestling, you get 1 take.
Yeah. You better do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you're working for AEW, you get 1 take and you fuck it up.
You're a piece of. You're a dumbass motherfucker, Mike.
It's all right though. So, anyways, the chinchillas, they're downstairs in the dark, and she put a nightlight down there because they're not supposed to be necessarily in the dark all the time.
Are they in like a
They're
container?
they're nocturnal. Yes, they're in a big cage.
Okay,
but they're in together. They have a wheel. They run around. But
Well, you said
yeah,
the basement. You're like they're in the basement, just like I'm like.
It'd be pretty sweet if they had
Are they
their
just like
own
roaming?
area.
Are they roaming around? Like
If they do, so chinchillas like shit all the time.
so do I.
So Chase. Yeah,
No,
I was
no,
just gonna say.
no. Every 30 seconds.
How many times do you poop a day?
3.
You
Realistically,
2 to 3.
Okay, me too. 2 to 3. That's very healthy, actually. By the way, I asked my doctor.
I'm
about
like,
this.
dude. I'm like maybe twice a week.
No,
That's not good, Steve.
For real.
that's not true. No, that's not true. That's not true. You can shit as many times as your body needs to. It doesn't mean it's unhealthy.
Well, my doctor said pooping at least once or twice a day is very healthy.
Like twice a week, maybe. Maybe.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
So you don't get to chill on the toilet and like scroll through Instagram and like
What?
I don't know.
I don't have Instagram, so I don't do that.
No, but like the best part about pooping is the relaxation period.
I can relax like on my bed without pooping.
Yeah, but sitting on the toilet it's that relaxation feeling.
Do you have a squatty potty?
Like a lower one.
I love my squatty potty.
Sure do.
What's that?
Yep.
You really don't know what that is?
It's like a raised
It was on Shark Tank.
Yeah, it's like what, like 6 to 8 inches.
Yeah, off the ground. It's a little
It's
platform.
the
you put your feet
natural
on.
movement.
Oh, yeah, it's put your
Yeah.
legs up. We
it's
don't have
like
one, but,
squatting.
Because you're supposed to poop squatting.
yeah.
Like,
It opens you up better, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
imagine being like a Neanderthal, like back when like.
Neanderthal.
No, I didn't say that wrong. Neanderthal.
Neanderthal.
Thaw? You saying with a
It's
there a
not
W?
Neanderthal.
Pam?
L. There's an L.
Yeah.
Neanderthal.
Thal.
Or Neanderthal.
Oh, so it's not Neanderthal.
No, they're not in ice.
Okay, fuck you both. Listen, so
They're not
like
in the freezer. You're not taking them out.
They're not thawing.
You're not making them for dinner.
Anyways,
You are an idiot.
welcome back to the Bully Chase podcast. No, but like they used to like squat like legit, like, and not sit down and relax like we do. Like, imagine like having to just squat over and go.
Well, no. So when we go to skirmish every year, we go to the paintball event in Pennsylvania. There's not really a whole lot of toilets.
You literally, like,
so
dig a
you
hole, don't
go outside, you go by a tree, and you squat, you take a shit, and you walk away.
You don't wipe it
We obviously wipe it
with what?
You drag your
toilet
butt around.
paper because we bring toilet paper.
So what happens if you run out of toilet paper?
You don't. You bring enough.
You just have an unlimited amount of toilet
Well,
paper.
you just bring
but
more
how many
than you
times
need.
are you shitting in like 7 days, 6 days? You bring like 7 rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah,
if you
you're
use
good.
one roll a day,
You're in trouble.
wiping too much.
Yeah. Or you got dehydrated.
I just-
Your asshole is bright red and bleeding at that
I
point.
don't.
That's true.
I've been there, but like I don't. It's not the fact that like you're pooping too much. I just use too much toilet paper.
Well, that's bad for your
That's-
toilet.
Do you,
No, it
okay,
is.
so
It's bad
here's
for your septic
Here's a
system.
debate that's been on the podcast. It's been a long time since I brought this up. Do you look at the toilet paper when you wipe?
You have to.
You have to.
Gotta
Oh,
make
he's
sure it's
thinking.
clean.
You
Well,
thought
yeah,
about it.
you
You
have
were
to
going to
make
say
sure
no.
it's clean,
You were going to say
but-
no, Steve.
No.
He
I
looked
only
up.
pooped twice a week. I had to think back.
There's other reasons. It's been 6 days. There are other reasons to do that too. It's not just the clean aspect, but you should be looking to see if there's any.
Glass or
Well, blood would be a
Glass,
good thing. I
shrapnel.
mean, you want to make sure. I mean, there could be blood in the toilet, so you wipe and you see what's going on, or it could be anything. But yeah, you want to make sure you're clean.
I mean, I'm not going to say any names, but there have been people on the podcast in past episodes that I've asked this question to that do not look.
Or do you think they just didn't say they look?
Oh no, this has been a debate going on for many years, and we finally brought it on the podcast.
You should have kept track of look and doesn't look votes. in my
Oh yeah.
scene.
The look was high majority.
Yeah.
Majority.
You're
Majority.
struggling.
There's an
I
I
know.
in there, my,
Neander-
or is it a Y?
Neanderthal.
M-Y?
Yeah, I always look when you have to. I don't know, just like
You don't have to. You choose to, and there's
gotta-
a reason you
It's not a
choose
gun
to.
to your head, like-
I mean, I'm looking
hate this.
because I want to make sure that
Bring me home.
I'm not using an excess amount of toilet paper.
I don't care
also
about using
wanna-
excess amount.
That's bad for your
You want to
septic
make
tank.
sure you're
It's very
clean,
bad.
that you're not using a lot of toilet paper, and that you're doing the right thing. If you're wiping 3 inches above and you get nothing, that's your problem.
All right, well, do you
I got deodorant
do you,
on this.
do you wipe back to front or front to back?
Back to front?
No, front to
Middle
back.
to up.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't.
front to back, like
Front to-
your gooch to your fucking
Yes.
end of your asshole.
Yeah,
That's front
if
to
you
back.
go down, that's weird.
I don't know. I know people that have done that too. That's also been a discussion.
That's people who sit on the toilet and wipe their ass sitting. If you're wiping your ass when you're sitting on the toilet, you got a possibility of wiping your hand on your shit.
Okay, then you just
How
wipe it
far
off.
down you dipping your hand in the toilet bowl?
Wait, I was gonna say.
Why are you going in your hand? Why
So
are you going in the
you
toilet?
wipe-
Well, you
bowl?
said like that's what I mean. Like, what do you?
No.
You wipe standing up?
Yeah, that's what I'm not.
Squatting?
I'm not team stand up
I'm team sit down.
for real.
You're sitting.
My last
Yeah.
wipe, I'll stand up just to like a glory flush, just to make sure that everything's all
You
out.
stand up, everything closes.
Exactly. When you're
I
sitting
got
down,
no
Doors
squatty
closed.
potty though. And if you're still squatting, if you squat and move forward,
So you don't stand like all the way.
No, I don't. I'm not standing.
Clench.
I'm good. No, I'm not. I'm standing to attention. I'm like, I'm wiping now.
Salute before.
Tid, hut.
Time to wipe, sir.
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal. I'm cold.
He regrets it.
Yes, he's gonna get that many times. Instead, he's gonna look at his phone. Hey, kids,
You
just
should get a
wanna let you know."
tattoo of a Neanderthal with Neanderthal under it.
I'm fucking.
Wait,
so-
whatever happened?
gonna
Okay,
be a
wait, time
frozen
out.
I guess.
Like a year and a half ago, when Sid and I were on here the first time, you ordered a tattoo gun. To
I still
tattoo
have
us.
it
Why haven't we been tattooed?
because I'm waiting for you and Sydney to be back together.
I live with her. I'm together with her every day.
No, I mean back here together.
you haven't invited us.
Well, I invited you. You're right, because Sydney kind of like she's kind of boring. And
She goes.
No, I'm kidding.
No, she goes. Thanks for the invite, Chase, but I understand.
You have a tattoo gun?
I do.
He does.
Can I give you a tattoo right
I
now?
don't have any tattoos.
I'll
Want
do it
one?
right now.
Want lips on your ass like me?
No.
No.
You want to see my ass?
Yes.
I bet it's very hairy.
It is.
Show me. You won't.
Look at his face.
You're right, I won't.
You want to see mine? I'll show you my
I wear a
tattoo.
sweater. That's why I'm not cold in your
Yeah, he's got a
0
sweater
degree
on.
shit. I wear shorts and a
Sweater.
tweed
This guy
t-shirt.
literally wears shorts. I was going to say jeans. Like, oh,
I don't wear jeans.
he wears shorts all the time. When
I
what did you
watched
say?
this man.
I wear jeans.
I watched this man walk through waist deep snow for 2.5 hours in shorts. in
When's the
February.
last time you wore a pair of pants?
Probably his
My
wedding.
wedding?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's like 3 years ago. FYI,
Yeah.
over 3.
No. Carry the 2. You're good. Yeah.
All right. Well,
course.
before we end the whole part of like working together and everything, I do want to say Mike to this day is the coolest boss I've ever had. Just so you know,
I was like your second boss though.
Yeah, that's true.
like the most
No,
elite.
but the thing is, I was very lenient.
I know.
But the other thing is, we got things done. If we didn't get things done and I got in trouble for it,
No, he
then-
let us know if we had to get shit done.
Right.
Yeah. So like I took advantage of Mike, but we still got things done.
Right. Well, because I was there.
I only brought you in once to
Spank you.
yell at you because you had your phone out on the
Yep.
sales floor, and
Yeah.
they're like, I'm like, I just got to let you know that I have to yell at you. And who was in the?
I don't
room
even
with us?
remember this.
Somebody else was in the room with us, and I was like, I have to let you know that
Oh, you had to bring it
can't have
upstairs,
your-
right?
Yeah, you can't,
Yeah.
you can't
It was
have your
probably
cell phone out. Oh, but I was listening to music when it was before store hours.
I have an answer for everything.
So no.
Wasn't my phone.
But it's true. You that's where you got caught by the grunt woman.
I hate it.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. You were playing. Oh, you were playing. What
The
does the fox say?
hobgoblin.
No,
The hobgoblin.
You were saying, what does the fox say?
Oh, that was our thing when we got
Yes.
we got motorcycles and we all played softball together.
Yes.
And I would literally come to softball and I would blare that shit right in my headphones on the motorcycle. And dude, that thing was hot back then. What was
Yeah.
that? Fucking 8 years
You
ago.
got off and all.
Do you still have your motorcycle?
Yes.
So do I.
No, I still.
Yeah, well, yours is in the same spot it has been.
No, I rode it all year.
really?
Did you
I
really?
got it back on the road this year.
No kidding.
Yep. Back on the road this year.
On the road
Sorry.
again.
Unfortunately, I have not ridden mine since.
My fondest memory of Chase on a motorcycle.
Oh god.
Blowing the stop sign.
That's one. Actually, I have so many great ones of Chase. Blowing the stop sign.
My dad's gonna be so happy I sold my motorcycle after this.
No, I think he was there for one of them. We lost you because you ran out of gas. We thought you crashed.
Yeah, because my old ass motorcycle. All
It
my
didn't have a
friends have
gauge.
fucking new motorcycles. I'll tell them when it's empty. Mine just like when you got to empty, you have no idea when.
It's just turned off.
Yeah, it just stopped working.
We were riding. I don't. It wasn't even that late, but it was dark out.
We were by the dump.
Yeah,
remember.
and all of a sudden we turn around to the red light and we're like, "Shit, where's Chase?" And like, my first thought is you crashed because like you weren't the best.
Yeah, I was not the
motorcycle
best
rider.
That's true.
And so we went. We turned around. We drove back. Looked up and down the road. Didn't see you. And we stopped and we called you. We texted you. And we're like, "What happened?" And you're like, "Oh, my bike ran out of gas. My dad had to come pick me up." And then the other good one is you were driving down my street in front of my house, and you were trying to skid.
Oh, when I dumped it.
And this man, he was only 20.
This is when we first got
He
motorcycles.
hits the brakes and he tries to skid. And he gets the speed, like not even the speed wobbles, but like the brake wobbles. Kid just dumped it and tumbled through the grass across the road. And I was like,
To my defense, my friends have. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna buy newer motorcycles." I bought like an old fucking like I don't know what it was, like a 2010, 2011,
old,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, my first motorcycle was. That thing didn't have like ABS brakes or anything. Like no, it didn't have any lock brakes. Like all my
well, that
friends.
thing locked up.
Yeah, it locked up and I fucking went right into the grass. But then I got rid of that. I got a new motorcycle, my Gixxer 600. That thing was badass. But then
I forgot you had that.
yeah, I sold that one when I had like 500 miles on it because unfortunately a friend of ours passed away. And then after that, I haven't ridden since. Dead ass. That was
I didn't ride from when that happened until this past year. It was, I mean, it's going to be 7 years this August. So it was 6 years last year, and I was like, it's been long enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I have the itch now.
I was comfortable with it. Like, as soon as because I told my wife and my mom that I was going to sell my bike. Right that night the accident happened, I was like, I'll sell it. And they were like, yeah, you're never getting on that again.
So it sat for a while.
And then the next day I woke up and I was like, maybe I spoke out of context there. Because I knew, like, Colin would have been pissed if I sold. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he would have
I-
called us little bitches. You know what I
You're
mean?
totally right.
And
That's what you are, though.
I am a little
that's
bit,
factual.
right.
And so I held on to it, and they're like, "Oh, you got to sell." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll list it." I listed it on Craigslist like once every 3 years, and I wouldn't answer anybody that reached out. And then so this year, I was like, "Hey, what do you think about like getting it back on the road?" Sid's like, "All right, we can look into it." I need to
Probably
do
hasn't
that.
had an oil change in that thing since
Dude, it
like
sat.
7 years ago.
It sat in my parents' garage from the day after his accident in 2015.
Tell me it started right up.
I put a new battery in it because the battery had died then.
Sure.
Put a new battery in it. Good to go. Wow. Put a new battery in it this year. Put gas in it. I rode it all year.
Yeah. Those small motor vehicles, they'll start right up.
And let me tell you,
Yeah, that shit scared the hell out of me though, because
It
I was
was-
like, you know, that can happen. To
it's so
anybody.
nice to have it back. And then I like Sid at first was like, I'm not getting on it again. Like, I'm still not there yet. It's not comfortable, you know, whatever. The second time I took it out, she's like, can I come? So like you gotta get it.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Like even just like I don't go far with it. Like I just take it if I'm bored one night and I'll go cruise up to Lake George and just ride around for a while and like
The worst is taking those things on like the Northway, like with all the bumps and shit.
That's not
can't
fun.
do that.
No, I'd rather just go up the back roads and
Exactly.
just chill.
Yeah,
And
that's the best part about it is driving around the middle of nowhere.
yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have the itch for a while. I was like, after that happened, I was like,
Yeah.
it could happen to anybody. I don't want it to happen to me. Like, it's so scary. So I got rid of mine. And then like I will say, like the past year and a half, I've had the itch. And I've been looking at like Sportline and stuff like that. And
You can ride mine.
I
Just don't crash it.
haven't pulled the trigger yet because I haven't ridden a motorcycle in
It's
6,
like riding a
7
bike.
years now.
Dude, I didn't touch it. I
hope
got back
so.
on it.
It is riding a bike.
Really?
Literally.
Because like I tried to
I didn't install it. Nothing. Like you get back on, you're good.
Dude, I try to think of it like just like sitting
Yeah, but
here.
he stalled
and-
it all the time.
Yes, he did while he was riding.
No, that was my first. When I got the Gixxer, I was very good at like
He just blames that first bike.
yeah, that was the first. That was what was it? A GXR fucking.
Gixxer, yeah.
Did
No,
you?
oh, no, that
you
wasn't.
had
That
did
was
you have
a
a Suzuki or something?
Yeah, no, it was.
No, I
well,
have the
both of them were
Suzuki.
Suzuki's. This
had
was it was a GSR 5.
Yeah, it was more of like a upright.
it wasn't like a crotch rocket.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like a fucking what do they call it?
Cruiser almost.
It was like a cruiser.
Well,
that
no, it was a combo. It was one of those.
it was a cruiser
It was
that
like
was
a long distance.
it was a cruiser disguised as a crotch rocket. So like you didn't have
You sat straight up,
Right.
Basically.
and that thing like it was very heavy.
Dude,
When
that thing was a box.
Yeah.
It looked like a big moped.
and then once I got my Gixxer, like it was a brand new bike that I got, so like that thing was badass, and like
My bike's a 2012.
I know
It's only got 6,400 miles on it.
it's wild,
It's vintage now.
but yeah,
It's antique.
I'm feeling it. Like
It's fun.
I've got the itch.
It's
if you want
nice.
to buy mine, I'm going to get a cruiser.
Yeah, more comfortable. Dude, I got back on that. I got back on that this year, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm too old for this shit."
I know, right?
My back hurts.
I got a buddy that's in a motorcycle club down in
We're in a motorcycle club.
We are silly.
the Silly Bananas.
The Silly Bananas.
It doesn't count.
It does
Why?
count.
No, because we're not registered.
I'm pretty sure Scott Carpenter made that name. I don't care if I name drop that. Scott
Yeah,
Carpenter.
I think.
What's
I
up,
think
Scott?
that's fair. I think he did.
He definitely did. He made that, and he didn't have a motorcycle. Or was
No,
it
wait.
Carson?
Carson had a motorcycle.
Yeah, but did
No,
he make
it was
the name?
Carson.
It was Carson
Was
who
it?
made the name.
Well, you know what? Scotty C called me the polished apple. So
Yeah, that's where that name came from. He says his for you.
All right, real quick before I take a piss, I'm just gonna let you guys. I know I gotta pee again. Broke the seal, whatever. So anyway,
You haven't had a seal.
I know.
right, it's just leaking out.
You
near the
just have an
fence.
open vent.
I've already pissed my pants since it started. But
Should wear a
anyway,
diaper.
you look down. I
I
love
did.
that.
I was really sure I was.
I want to
stepping in
see.
it.
Anyway, so what he's talking about, Scotty C. I already said his last name, whatever. Scotty, how you doing, my man? But he played a joke on Mike one day, but like it was a couple days before
It
he
wasn't a
leave-
joke, and it
he-
wasn't one day.
he was about to quit. Actually, it was right before he left, and we had like hats at work, like our little Hanford hats, and this guy took
They're
Mike's hat.
paper hats.
No, it wasn't a paper hat. It was like a legitimate grocery store brand hat. And before Mike came in one day, he took a Sharpie marker because Mike, I'm sorry. Oh, he's bald now anyway, so it doesn't matter. So he was balding very badly
shaves
at the
his
time.
head.
Yeah. Yes, but
Balding very badly. It's a very nice way to put it.
Neanderthal.
fuck you, dick. Anyway, so Mike was balding at the time, and we used to make jokes about it. And this guy took a Sharpie to the inside of Mike's hat and put the polished apple, making fun of his bald spot. So I'll never forget that. It's fantastic. I love it. Very funny. Mike did not love it at the time. Mike did not love it.
I don't care now. I really don't care.
Now you don't
Yeah.
care, but you did
Oh
care.
no, I was like, what the hell is this shit?
He thought it was me. He blamed me at first.
That's a fair assumption.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's a fair guess.
I don't like to hurt people's feelings.
Listen, Scotty C. He's a cat.
Yes, but anyway, Mike's first assumption was me. And I was like, of course not. And then we finally found out it was Scott. You never were able to confront him, I don't think.
No, because he left before that.
Panicked and left.
Savage. But on that note, we're going to take a little commercial break. I'm going to pee real quick, and we'll be right back.
Draft Top. The Draft Top was designed to give you a better all-around drinking experience, and let me tell you how. You take your Draft Top bar tool, put it on top of your adult beverage, give it a little squeeze, not too hard, a little bit of friction, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left, a little to the right, and wha-bam. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me demonstrate this. If you're listening, I'm sorry, you just got to hear me talk. But yeah, then you pop your Draft Top off, take this, push it down just a tad, and now your beer just became a cup. So forget about wasting plastic, pouring your beer can into a cup, into a red Solo cup, if you will. It doesn't matter because now your Draft Top just made your beer into a cup. So now you can chug your beer a hell of a lot faster. You can smell the aroma of the alcohol. The experience of drinking here is just so much better thanks to Draft Top. So go get yours now. I want you to have one. You want you to have one. And you can get your own draft top at www.drafttop.com. And don't forget to use promo code GarageBoozing for 10% off site-wide. That's right. It doesn't matter what you get in your draft top cart, 10% off site-wide using promo code GarageBoozing. You know how to spell it. Don't be a fool. Buy your draft top right now. Treat yourself. You deserve it. All right, back to the show.
This is the Garage Boozing Podcast.
Next question.
Next question. You didn't have a
That wasn't
question.
even the first question.
What do you mean? I talked. No.
There wasn't a question.
There was no
statement.
question. Right.
You said, we work together.
We work together.
Question mark. I'm Ron Burgundy.
So, do you remember the time we worked together? Question.
Yes, I do. All right, so question. And this is for Steve. So,
I was
Steve,
gonna say for who?
for you. For Steve. I did say for Steve.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah.
All right, anyway, so. Well, you can put some input in here because you did a little bit of this too.
Put some input.
Oh my fucking God, shut the fuck up. Let me ask a question. Steve, I'm sorry for my,
Rude friend to the left.
my derogatory language.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Jesus H. Christ, right now. Fucking bicycle.
I hope your followers are okay with my F-bombs.
Me? I just want to share it.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Got it.
All right, anyway, so before I was rudely interrupted again by Mike W.
Chase.
Question for Steve. And you can put some input here too because you've done this a couple
I
times.
will
So
put input.
obviously we know. Can you shut the fuck up while I ask a question?
I'm just telling you, I will
Stop
put
talking
input.
until I address you. Speak when spoken to.
You
Yes,
did talk
sir.
to me. You just said you can put some input in.
Right. In.
Put.
It's gonna be so hard to edit because my friends are.
Put input in. Put input in.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. We'll see you next.
Have you ever put input
All right, shut
in?
your fucking mouth. All right, so as you guys know, Steve is a paranormal investigator. I'm not even going to say my fair share because I'm a fair share. I've had a couple experiences, which we've talked before in the past, and I was a little pink little bitch, so we already know that. Mike's done a couple himself. Probably more than a couple, actually.
Like 5 years.
2 or 3, 700.
Yeah.
Like
Like
maybe
5
not
years.
700.
All right, anyway,
5
so
years.
Steve, everybody knows your paranormal investigation background. We've talked about it before. And I love everything you're doing, dude. Your social media is blowing up. Shit's going great for you. But I do have a question. So when it comes to, like, these investigations, one, like, when you do, like, public events and stuff like that, like, you're pretty much, like, leading the pack, right? Like,
Yeah, it depends. So the local spots that are smaller, we have them pretty well organized where I'll take one group of 10 and Dylan or whoever's helping me out that night will take the other group of 10. We bring all the equipment, obviously, teach you how to use it, tell you what it does, and kind of are there to guide you through the investigation. Some of the bigger spots we go, because we go to places all over, it's like, some of the bigger prisons are 240,000 square feet. There's no reason to keep people in groups of 10 in those situations.
Sure.
It's such a big spot. So those are more of like a free roam, do what you want kind of thing. So you sign up, you come in, you register, we check you in when you get there. We hang out for a while, we talk, we do a history tour as a group. After that, you come back, we explain the equipment, we hand it out to you, give you whatever you want to use. You can use it the whole night.
now what if they break it?
That's why I have insurance.
Oh, okay, so it's not on them.
No, it's no big deal. It happens. Dylan breaks a lot of stuff.
Okay. I always see you bullying Dylan. I
He
love it.
breaks so much stuff.
But so, okay, so like my question here is like, so even if you do like a big thing like that where the group is all together, you're pretty much like the main like person in charge, right? Like I know you have like people with you and stuff,
Yeah.
but like you're probably like the
Yeah, I would say.
forefront. Is that the word? The
Yeah,
forefront?
I handled most of.
and also the
everything.
most experience as well.
Yes.
So my first question here for you is like, what's your favorite part of like an investigation, like leading an investigation, showing people who have never been through this before? Like what's the best part for you?
I think either the fact that I get to investigate with new people all the time is cool. People's brains work differently.
Absolutely.
So like you're going to think of a situation and you're going to analyze a situation, react to a situation differently than me.
Well, I'm there and I'm just like fear. I'm afraid.
And that happens. And a lot of people are like that.
And Steve's like, Leah, let me sleep on this hospital chair that like 18,000 million people have died on.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
I knew that was
That's
coming.
a big number.
18,000 million.
Yeah.
I wish I just would have said like a
I wonder if they were
realistic
thawing out.
Neanderthals.
number. All right.
Yes. Yeah, it's cool because like people are going to analyze things differently, and their brains are going to work differently. So if something happens and I'm in a room, I might think of a few questions, in response to whatever just went on. But everybody else that's in the room is going to think of different questions. And it doesn't matter if you've been investigating for 5 minutes, 5 years, 50 years. Your brain just works different. So you might think of a question that I wouldn't have thought of that might be the right question in that moment that's going to start a string of activity. Whatever you ask might start like a next chain reaction of a bunch of stuff happening.
So if you're like sitting in the room, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
If you're like sitting in the room and like the voice recorded and you have a shit ton of people, like do you just let people fire off questions or are you just like, okay, let me go?
No, I tell them how it works. Like, hey, basically, when we're doing this, try not to whisper. If your stomach makes a noise, kind of, tag it, say, hey, that was my stomach, that kind of thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
But if you have a question, fire away. I mean, we usually say like 5-10 seconds between each question, give them a shot to answer. So you're not talking over anything that might be answering. But again, like I don't know any better than you what question's going to be answered. Just because I've been doing it longer, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. I've just been sitting in dark buildings longer.
Yeah.
Like the first time we were there and we were like, can anybody hear us? No, I'll never forget that.
Broad daylight.
Never forget that. I have chills. I hairs on the back of my neck right now. Scared the fuck out of me. But anyway, so your favorite part?
Probably investigating with new people and just seeing like the excitement of people that are experiencing something that they've never experienced before. So it takes a lot now, with somebody that's been doing this for a long time, like myself or even Mike or Dylan or somebody that's been doing it for a while. It takes a lot to get us like super excited about a night. Like something really cool has got to happen.
Yeah.
Stuff happens and we're like, oh, that's exciting. That's cool. That's fun. But somebody that's never done it before, doesn't do it that often. And you go in there and like something happens that you might not react hugely to. That might be like the defining moment for them.
For a new person.
Right. That is like, okay, there is something. And like to see that excitement, it's super cool because it brings you right back to like when you started and like all this stuff was so new to you. And it's not all
just seeing like the excitement on their face.
Right.
And
It's
stuff.
fun. It's
Yeah.
super cool to see that. Like we had somebody out at our event this past weekend. She was a younger girl. She was probably early teens. And, she was having the time of her life. Stuff was going on. Things were happening. And she messaged me after. And she was like, this was like unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like I had stuff happen that I never thought I would experience. And like, that's really cool to me. Like I'm not out to prove anything to anybody. I don't care if you believe or not. Like that's not up to me.
Sean the non-believer.
I don't care about that. Like if you don't believe,
You
that's
probably
fine.
have some non-believers though.
Absolutely. My dad doesn't believe in any of it.
I love that. He's like, he supports the shit out of you too.
Yeah, my dad doesn't believe in any of it.
There's believing in certain aspects and not believing at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm not on the not believe it at all.
Right.
I've had my experiences.
Skeptical
Trust me.
believer.
I
didn't believe a thing until it's got scared the shit out of me.
But it shouldn't have to take an experience for you to believe something, but it does. That's the problem.
I'm a hands-on
it takes
learner.
that experience to be like, holy shit, this
And-
is real.
You can be a believer, but you're still a skeptic when you go like case to case. So just because somebody says, hey, my house is haunted, I'm not walking in there
Assuming.
thinking everything is
Yeah.
haunted. Like if it's something makes a noise, you're like, okay, there's 50 million things that could have been.
Could have a mouse.
Right. What it was a draft? It was a mouse. It was the heat. There's so many things. So like
Water pipes are a
Right.
huge thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Heat, especially in the winter, like
Yeah.
heat kicking on or the water running through the pipes or anything like that. Like you have to go into it skeptical, even if you do believe. All right, if that makes sense, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
no,
you,
absolutely.
You can't go into a location just because somebody said it's haunted or just because it's old, thinking that every noise or everything is a ghost. It's not how it is. I mean, you have to just keep a level head.
Yeah, that makes absolutely so much sense. So now my next question for you is, what's your least favorite part of like doing like an event tour? Tour, as
I
you
can
would
tell
say.
you what mine
I do
is.
say tour.
Loud
Tour.
people.
It's a tour.
Loud people.
Extremely
drunk
loud,
people.
annoying, drunk people.
Drunk people
Yeah.
are
You get
tough.
drunk people?
Oh, a ton of times.
We've had it. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. We actually stopped doing events at a local location because they didn't respect our wishes for
So
like.
are you not allowed to drink on tour?
No.
Well, no, you. Why would you though? That's the thing.
If
Why-
you're there to experience something, being
So-
inebriated is not going to help.
I will just say, as myself, I'm a big believer in liquid courage. I've said this multiple times. I do think if you had a couple beers, like your fear level goes down. So myself,
It's not. It's not.
I've been there. I've done these with him, and I'm like, there's a reason why I haven't been back in a while. I'm a little bitch, like this shit scared the fucking shit out of me.
It's not that I don't want people to have a good time. I obviously enjoy a beer, but for a lot of things, it's a liability thing.
Shout out Slickman.
Yes,
But
it's a liability thing.
that makes sense.
I mean, these places we're going are dark.
do people sign a waiver or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it ruins it for the other people too. Like Mike experienced it, and we've had this happen at a couple different events, locations, where 98% of the group wants to investigate and is sober and is ready to go, and then you have that few people
drunk asshole
that are loud, drunk, dropping, kicking things, laughing, screaming, and that's ruining it for everybody else. If you want to get drunk, go on a ghost tour and just walk around and hear ghost stories.
Tour. All right, so your least favorite is like drunk people.
That or having how much time I have to spend in the car. Like, I drive to all my locations.
Oh yeah, they're wild. He doesn't even take a plane or
I
a train.
have
The
too
guy
much-
drives
too
all
much
over the
equipment.
United States.
That's why you have podcasts and books on tape. I mean,
I listen to
that's what I do. I drive for a living. So, I mean, if I'm driving 4 hours a day, I'm lucky.
Yep.
You know,
It's-
so I get it. I understand that.
It's
but
not the lack of sleep, because I never sleep on these trips.
Sleep when
like,
you're dead, bro.
That's right. We agree.
Well, I hope not, because that'll put me out of business. Everybody sleeps. If everybody sleeps when they're dead, I don't have a job.
Hypothetically speaking, you're sleeping when you're dead.
It's fair. Your body is. I
Right.
guess.
But your
it's
spirit's
like,
always active.
when we had an event last weekend, it was only 3.5 hours away. So when it ended at 1 o'clock in the morning, we packed up and we got in the car at 2 o'clock in the morning. We drove home. I got home at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
You have energy and you're
You
just
didn't
awake the
stay?
whole time?
No, instead we drove home.
So you're awake the whole time you're just driving home 3.5 hours?
I hope I'm awake. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
He's here now.
asshole. I get that,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
you're not tired or like groggy. or anything?
tired.
No,
yes.
tired, but like not enough where, like, if I'm not stupid, if I was too tired to drive, I would pull over. It happened last year. We were driving home from in a location in Indiana. It's a 13.5 hour drive. We had just done 3 days in a row where we were up. Our events went until 6 in the morning. From Thursday morning when I left my house at 10:45 in the morning till I left Indiana Sunday afternoon at like 2 in the afternoon, combined all Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, I got 4.5 hours of sleep between all the events.
Were you hallucinating?
Yes. And
At that point, you're way overtired.
yeah, you're so out of it at that point.
Didn't even hesitate. Yes.
I tried to drive home 13.5 hours. I made it 9. And I got to just past Buffalo on the thruway. And Dylan had been asleep for about 9 hours.
He sleeps as soon as you walk.
Yeah, he's
you get
useless.
in. Yeah.
Yep. And he already flipped a car, so he's not allowed
Yes.
to drive at night.
No.
So
Sweet.
I made it there, and I was literally, you're hallucinating. I mean, you're seeing like black stuff, like shadows and stuff. Like
Mario and Luigi hanging up.
literally, like
mountains.
you're like it's unreal. You blink, and it's like a 5-minute blink. you just don't know how you traveled anywhere.
Jesus.
So I pulled over at a rest stop and slept for about 3 hours. And
So you're by yourself?
No, Dylan was there. He was just sleeping.
He slept the entire 3 hours.
He
too.
slept the entire 3 hours. Yeah, we pulled over at the rest stop. I said, "Dude, I got a nap for a few hours." He said, "All right, sounds good."
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
And he went back to bed. I slept for about 3 hours, and then we finished the 4.5, 5 hour
Yeah.
drive home. But that's probably my least favorite. Is just like the time in the car and the time. Like, I love investigating. I love traveling. I love going to these places. But like, I'm never home.
All right, so you have to pick one. The
Drunk people or the
drunk?
time?
Yeah, the drunk people
Drunk
or the.
people. I hate drunk people in investigations. I love drunk people. I hate drunk people.
Oh, I was gonna be
I know.
offended.
I love drunk people. I hate drunk people in a serious setting like that, where other people are trying to have fun.
Sure.
And they paid money to be there.
Well, it's different if like you're like just like you and Dylan doing something, you
Right.
know, and if you have like a fucking drink just before or something,
Yeah, but the
versus
thing is
like
we
having
don't.
like
Right.
When we all go together and we're just doing something,
there to-
No one drinks.
No, we're there to work.
when's your next local investigation?
April.
Where is it?
April 29th is at Wilson Castle in Proctor, Vermont, which is right outside of Rutland. And then the 30th
So how
is
far away is that?
Hour.
45.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Can I go? Like I'll buy a ticket.
There's one ticket left.
Give it to me right now. I'll buy it right
Get on
now.
there and buy it. And then the
Where do I buy it? How do I buy?
HauntedNightsEvents.com. Just saying.
You have a promo code for me? You're making me pay full price? Is this fucking
get you a
serious?
promo code.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm
Garage
joking.
boozing.
Garage boozing.
No, okay. I'm actually buying this. So hold on. No,
But
but you
then
guys can talk about
the
it.
day after that, so the 30th of April, we were at the old Washington County Jail in Salem, New York.
I don't want to talk about that place.
In Salem.
Been there.
That's
Good place.
No,
You've never been to Wilson?
no. Oh wait, was that the place on the?
No.
The
That
lake
was,
house?
That was the DP Dean, where you're throwing the rocks in the water to scare you.
Yes, yeah. These assholes, when I was there, they would purposely try to go out of their way and fucking scare
That was
me.
a cool place.
Easy to scare.
Did I stutter?
Dude, that was a cool place.
Did
So,
you?
yeah, Wilson Castle is a big haunted castle from the 1860s in Vermont. Been in the same family since 1940.
Wilson Castle, the Friday, April 29th?
That's it. One ticket left.
Oh, it's not even a buy now button, it's investigate.
You're welcome.
Investigate later.
It's sold out. Oh, wait, no.
There's one
Overnight
general-
investigation
there's
is
one
sold
general
out.
mission,
All right,
yeah.
hold on. Let's see.
There's one general mission left. Hey, thanks.
Sold it.
I'm making my friend money right now.
You're making Sid money.
Right.
That's your wife.
It sure is. Most of the money goes to my wife and my dog. how it works.
Right. He gets an allowance, weekly allowance.
I get a stipend.
Yep. Here's your monies.
Here's your money.
Don't drive too far.
I'm allowed gas in my car.
I couldn't finish my trip, so I had to sleep for 3 hours.
And wait for my next day allowance to come in.
There it is. Gas.
That's
Done.
money.
Hold on.
No, but I get
better
that.
actually go.
I don't have my wallet on me, so I'm using PayPal at the second.
I think the worst part about the driving aspect is it's not the length of it, it's the changing in time.
Yeah.
So like when it goes from light to dark, you're okay, but as soon as that dark starts turning to light,
Go back to light.
you're like, "Oh shit."
I've been here too long.
Yes.
Yeah, but you drive at night for a living.
No.
We
Yeah,
drove
that's
to
different,
Tennessee.
though. We drove to Tennessee and we drove back. I mean, I drove to Kentucky and
Yep.
drove back. I mean,
Yep.
you're talking double-digit hours of drive
Kentucky,
time.
yeah, Kentucky's about 12 and a half.
Yeah.
Tennessee was like 16.
Right.
That was a
We
long
were
trip.
we swapped that in and out, but the thing is, on the way back, it was like the last 2 hours you were in New York State.
I
it
got
was
my
bad.
ticket.
He got his ticket. I just got the notification.
Yeah, ticket to ride.
So can I like show up like before like the regular people do? Just because like I know you and I have a hoodie.
as
Like,
long as you have a interview,
You can, yes, you can come with us.
I got some
You have
merch,
your press
right? Wait,
card?
can I really go with you?
Well, I'm staying overnight, so.
I'll stay overnight.
You
Or am I-
know,
you don't have a ticket for that. Sorry, sir.
All right, so to wrap that up, your least favorite thing would have to be the drunk
Drunk
people.
people that ruin it for the people that are there to have a serious investigation.
Listen,
Actually,
I like getting drunk, but like drunk people do suck when they're overboard. You know, like I'm
Drunk-
in my garage right now getting a little overboard because
drunk people suck when they're the only drunk people there. If that makes
here
sense.
I am
Yes.
in my garage being the only drunk person here.
We have to drive.
We're-
but
yeah,
we'll try our
we're-
best.
Listen, we're
You guys are responsible.
We're encouraging you
to be
have
better.
a good time.
To be better, right?
Oh, we're having a good
You
time. It's the
get, you
garage.
get
Boozing
blackout. I'll
podcast.
carry you upstairs after. I don't
I
care.
love
I've
that.
done it before.
You've done a lot for me too. That was mostly your fault.
That's my bossness. In
That's the glory of being in my garage. I'm drinking and getting shit faced, and like here I am like trying to serve people like shots and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, they have to drive home, but I do
yeah.
have
I
guest
still have the
bathrooms.
shot that I was supposed
Okay,
to
take it right now.
I'm not going to take it now.
I simply
Rock paper
have-
scissors.
I've
Okay.
simply taken
Really?
none.
Yeah, no.
I hate
Says
mine.
you know.
Hey nerds, please don't forget the #1 way to support the brand. Buy some merch. We've got hats, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and it's all available to you at www.garageboozing.net/shop. And don't forget to follow on all your favorite social media accounts as well as YouTube at Garage Boozing. And of course, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whatever the button may be, to the Garage Boozing Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms so you can be notified as soon as a new episode is released.
Ladies, gentlemen, and nerds. Do you have what it takes to be a guest on the fastest growing alcohol chugging and nonsense talking podcast? Well, now is your chance. The Garage Boozing Podcast has new guests every week, and you could be one of them. Just simply log on to www.garageboozing.net, click the Be on the Show tab, and submit your information. It's that simple. Join the boozement or be a loser. Don't miss your chance because we're taking this to the moon.